What's going on, everybody? I'm Aslan Hajavani, joined by founder and administrator of Warchant.com, Gene Williams, and our senior lead writer, Corey Clark. Hit the thumbs up button. Takes nothing to do it. Just tap on the little thumbs up button on your screen. We certainly would appreciate it. Subscribe to the website. It is Warchant.com. Use the promo code Warchant30 for a 30-day free trial. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get alerts, set your notifications, and you'll find out when videos, podcasts, and our recruiting chats all start dropping. As we know, spring break right now for Florida State students, including the football team. They'll return to campus here in a few days. Practice resumes Tuesday for us and the media being able to watch them. But, gentlemen, we're still working, keeping things busy over on warchant.com. And as we've seen now through 4 practices, Gene, we've been able to see some pretty encouraging signs from this program, making steps in year 3 under Mike Norvell. When it comes to the transfers, though, it's such a big topic. It's such a big reason, I think, why so many people feel optimistic about what 2022 can be, Gene. In terms of the transfers on the offensive side of the ball, which we have an entire roundtable with thoughts from Ira as well and Tom Lang on our website. This is just a video to accompany it, so check out the story over on the site. Looking at the transfers, has anything kind of caught you by surprise in terms of offensive transfers, Gene?
I'll say one thing. Most of the guys seem to be as good as advertised. I mean, that's almost a surprise. Usually guys coming together, there's a couple busts. They weren't what we thought. So they do seem to all be pretty good. But I'll say the one that surprised me was the one I was probably most pessimistic about when it happened. That's Trey Benson, the running back. I mean, I looked at him. He's coming off a serious knee injury. He's barely done anything in college. He was a 3-star recruit. So I was like, and I was thinking, man, with Jayshon Corbin being gone, you need to have somebody who can really pick up the load. As much as I like Trayshawn Ward and Toafili, I just didn't know if those guys were going to be enough to really carry the load for the running back. But man, the early returns on that, we know he's got the top end speed. We know he's a big dude. He's 215 pounds. The little bit I saw him, he could cut. He had some vision. I saw some holes. He stepped on it. And man, I don't know when the full, when it goes all out, is he going to be able to do that? But man, he's got the size, the speed, and seems to have all the tools to be a really good back. So that could be a big bonus. If he can come in and play, and he's got that explosive ability and the size, man, that could be huge for the offense.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity there in the backfield for sure with Jayshon going to the draft. Corey, for you, the Coracle, man, what have you seen from transfers that's caught your eye in terms of being a positive surprise?
Yeah, I'll mention Johnny Wilson. I did want to say about Benson, it's not like he's hit a bunch of 60-yard runs in spring. He hasn't made a bunch of wow plays. The way he moves is wow, though. Like, I didn't think he had that in him, not only just coming back from injury, I just didn't know he had that agility in him. So that really has been one of the surprises, is just how well he moves, not just the top-end speed, but the cutting ability. But, yeah, I think mine so far, look, Johnny Wilson, he was a big get. We thought he was a big get, literally and figuratively. But he hadn't really done a whole lot. He hadn't had a chance to. His first year, he played 4 games. They only played 4 games at Arizona State. So he has, I think he has 21 catches in his career, something like that. But he looks like a guy that will be a first down maker and score you some touchdowns in the red zone because of the size. And it's not just that he's big and you throw jump balls to him. This isn't Greg Carr, where it's just a one-trick pony. No offense, Greg. You're still my dog. You know that. But it's not just Greg Carr. He's catching contested passes over the middle. Even when he doesn't have when he hasn't separated that much, when they throw him the ball, he rips it away from the DB. They try to break it up. He still catches it. He's got really strong hands, that big frame. Florida State was so bad in third down offense last year. Not only do I think this guy could be a big red zone threat, I think he'll be one of the keys to them maybe going from 104th in third down offense to somewhere in the 40s if they can. That would be a huge upgrade, and he is a big deal. And he's also a little bit faster than I thought. I knew he's a big kid. He's not, he's not Rashad Green. He's not pokey. He's not one of these burners, but he can move. He might end up being a really big deal for this team.
Now, they've certainly addressed needs. That's what's got us feeling so optimistic about what this offense could possibly be, with Mike Norvell now taking over primary play calling duties with the departure of Kenny Dillingham. They've addressed needs on the offensive line, receivers that we've heard about, running backs. Gene's mentioned Trey Benson. Gene, is there a concern that we have still about this offense? I mean, after all, this is a team that finished 5-7 last year, so not everything is all that rosy. Is there anything offensively that through 4 practices, they got 11 more with scrimmages included, that you want to see kind of get tweaked or maybe improve, that you got your eye on?
Well, the nice thing is, as bad as the offense has been the last couple of years, really no way to go but up. And I mean, so it really does look positive. You look at every position group, it is trending positively. We've seen personnel-wise. So, I mean, but there's still a lot of things that need to be worked on. And still, my overriding concern with this team is quarterback. And I'm not talking about Jordan Travis. I'm a big Jordan Travis fan. I think he's going to take that next step up. I think with all these tools around him, I think we're really going to be able to see him shine this year. Still that backup quarterback position in my mind, I always see Travis getting hurt all the time and not being able to go. Now, hopefully this year that won't be the case. But if it is, what is the solution? What is going to happen after him? Now, look, I'm going to say the last couple practices, Tate Rodemaker probably had the best practices he's had since being at Florida State. And really, he was never a guy that we thought was going to come in and be the guy. I mean, he wasn't. He should not have been in there if he wasn't in there those first couple of years and was only practice, people wouldn't have this negative aura about Tate Rodemaker. But I think it's unfair to him. But I think we're starting to see maybe he's picking things up. He's getting more comfortable. He's being more consistent in practice. Maybe he could be that guy. But still, I think we're all going to go into the fall unless there's a transfer. Now, that's still a possibility. Unless a transfer comes in, we're all going to be just nervous as heck that if Travis goes down, it's not going to be good for the offense. And I know a lot of you guys have said on Wake Up Warchant, a little prime for you guys, you've talked about that a lot, that what's that win total go from? We all talking about, is it going to be 7 win, 8 win, 9 wins, whatever that is, subtract several numbers from that if Travis is not at quarterback. So that to me is still the number one concern. What is your solution if he's unable to go?
Corey, I mean, you're the one that kind of spotted Tate having a couple improved practices towards the end of last week. You asked Mike Norvell about it after practice. He kind of agreed with your assessment there. Do you agree with Gene? Is that your biggest kind of concern about the offense at this point?
No, I'll get to that in a sec. But I do understand what Gene's saying, and it does make sense. Like, we don't know what Rodemaker can do in a game. 2 spring practices aren't enough to alleviate concerns about Jordan Travis being hurt. I will say there's always going to be, like, there's a reason Jordan's the starter and these other guys aren't. It's because he's better than him. And that's how it is at, I don't know, 99%, 100% of the schools. If you lose your starter, the win total is probably going to go down 1 or 2. What you can't have is a cataclysmic fall off, which up until last week, I thought that was the case with Florida State. I thought the difference between Jordan Travis and Tate Rodemaker was so wide, you might not even want to play games. And that was probably my fault. I had a negative perception of Tate Rodemaker. He did enough just in those 2 practices to be like, okay, he might be serviceable to good. He's still young. Maybe he's good, but he at least won't be an embarrassment. He will be able to maybe move the offense down the field. That said, yeah, if there's another good quarterback you see out there on the market, I'm not telling you not to get him because Tate had 2 good practices. But my biggest concern, and look, man, it might just be PTSD. This is what we do every year with this team. I have to see the offensive line actually be a good offensive line. I know they've added guys. I know Caden Lyles should be an upgrade. It should be really good. Gibbons proved he was good. Maybe Darius Washington becomes an even better player. Not even sure what position he's going to play. Robert Scott, can he take a next step? The other linemen that aren't going to be starters, can they provide enough quality depth that when one of these starters goes down, you don't feel horrible about who you're putting in the starting lineup? So until I see that in the fall, there's nothing I can see in the spring, I don't think, Gene, that would alleviate my concerns about the offensive line just being average again. Now, look, average is still a huge upgrade over what it was. But if this program is going to take the next step, you want them to be better than average. And I don't know that I'm going to believe that until I see it.
But, Corey, aren't you seeing in spring at least the bodies that we haven't seen before? I mean, that's something now I'm seeing it in front of my face. I'm seeing actual depth on the offensive line. I mean, if one guy goes down, it's not the end of the world. Before they went down, you're bringing Abdu Bello or somebody where it's over. I don't think that's the case anymore for this line. Like you said, they're probably average. But, again, that's such a step up from where they were. And then it gets more on the skill players, the quarterback, and the coaching. So it's not such a liability anymore. So for me, I am seeing that in practice that they have the bodies to at least be pretty good.
Yeah, they do. They definitely have depth. We don't know the quality of the depth, though, yet. That's one thing that maybe the spring will tell us that. Like, who of these young guys that we haven't really seen a lot of, Willis or guys like that,
Schrader.
Yeah. Are those guys good enough that when these injuries happen, because they always do on an offensive line, to step right in and almost not miss a beat? That's what you want to see, because this program has not had that. It didn't even have it in the championship season. Those guys started every game. So it has been a long time since this program had quality depth. Hopefully it has it now.
Plenty more to talk about when it comes to this offense and spring football. Again, we got 11 more practices once Florida State resumes activities for the spring season on Tuesday. In the meantime, head to warchant.com. full breakdown of the roundtable with answers and responses from Ira and Tom Lang, as well as us three on camera, and some additional questions that we didn't dive into on this video. We'll also tackle the defensive side of the ball later on this week. So stay connected to warchant.com, the ultimate Seminole sports arts. For Gene, Corey, I'm Aslan. Thanks for watching. Hey, guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate you.